We doing it, baby. We live, baby. It is Monday, February the 26th. We are at the end of Black History Month. This Black History Month has served us well, very well. How are you guys? How was your week? Hold on, baby. Let's walk through the week right quick. Oh, y'all, if you guys can remember, last week I shared that it was gonna be difficult to actually film the weekly walkthrough. And then I tried to be a superwoman, and I should have just chilled and said we're gonna take a break. But I tried to be a superwoman. I tried to do a million things, and I just really needed to focus on the conference. By the way, the conference went really well. I'm gonna make a completely different video about that. I got a couple of shout outs to make, so be on the lookout for that this week. So that's why the weekly walkthrough is a little late. You will be getting 2 weekly walkthroughs this week. You're gonna get this one for last week, and then you're going to get the good old Saturday morning on the 3rd, and we'll be into March. This year, it's just going, it feels like it's going by so fast, but I also feel like God is doing great things, and I'm praying that just like he's doing great things in my life, that he's doing great things in yours. I pray that he is ministering to you and fulfilling your life, and he's changing and shaking things up so you can grow and evolve and elevate. I really pray that that's happening for y'all out there, because it's sure happening to you, girl. You hear me? You hear me? If you are new to the weekly walkthrough, hey, my name is Christian Supa Chris here at All These Things TV. I make stuff for moms and wives so that they can feel good about being moms and wives while having one-on-one intimate conversations with the Lord on the daily. Prayerfully on the daily. But I know sometimes stuff happens, you know. The weekly walkthrough is basically a show that comes on, a show that I create. It's a show that is presented before your face. In this show, I talk about a testimony or a struggle, which is something that I go through. It helps me grow in my relationship with Christ. And then we have a fave, and that's either a show, a piece of candy. It could be anything, just an object that I'm obsessing over for the week, or I thought it would be really useful and I want to share with you guys for the week. And then we have 3 points of culture, and this is anything that's going on in the media that I feel like is worth sharing to y'all, my heroes out there, because some stuff be good and some stuff I'll be waiting to hear y'all comments on, so I share little pieces of culture. And then finally, we have It's a Word, and it is basically just a piece of encouragement from the Lord through me to you. So let's go ahead and get into the weekly walkthrough. I don't want to hold y'all. I don't want to be before y'all long gone today. We just came back from the conference. If I could tell y'all how many times I tried to squeeze in the weekly walkthrough when I was in Dallas, it was ridiculous. I bought a dash cam, didn't use it because I had to work and do my homework on the road, so I didn't get to film on the road. And then when I got to Dallas, I met up with the women of the conference, and everybody wanted to do dinner. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do dinner, and then we're gonna go back and I'm gonna film the weekly walkthrough in the hotel. I was too tired and I was too focused on the conference. Didn't get to do it then. I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna just get up and I'm gonna go live. So I woke up and I was waiting on my stylist. Shout out to my stylist, she's so great. And I was trying to put lashes on, y'all. I put lashes on for the first time, and it was a success. I'm never going back. I feel naked without them right now. Lashes are a way of life. Anyway, so I'm sitting here trying to struggle with my lashes, praying that I could be effective while I'm ministering to these people at this conference. And the weekly walkthrough just didn't happen. It didn't happen, long story short. And I was like, yo, I have to make sure that I at least get it to them. Y'all deserve the weekly walkthrough. I deserve to share the weekly walkthrough. Y'all don't understand how much I enjoy doing the weekly walkthrough. It's like my favorite thing to do of the week, because God uses me in it and I get really excited about it. It's a community necessity, the weekly walkthrough. That's a whole tangent. We just went on a way. Let's come back. All right, testimony. So like I said, I was at the conference, right? It went really, really well. Every experience in a conference or a speaking situation, of course, is going to be extremely different. I was more planned in sharing my testimony. I had points to share. When I first got there, the conference was going in one direction in terms of how they were encouraging women and how they were inspiring women. I felt like my story was a contrast of that. And I got nervous and I was insecure because I felt like my story wasn't going to encourage anybody, because I felt like there were so many people in the conference that had agreed with the contrasting point that was being relayed to them, to where it was going to be like, oh, I don't agree with your story, you know? So I had felt like that, and I had to pray and rebuke Satan from my mind. And then something really, really cool happened. I had connected with somebody on Instagram. Her name is Naturally Nikki here on YouTube and over on Instagram. We connected on Instagram through Lady Lovely. Shout out to Lady Lovely. Lady Lovely B. She is like the real MVP. If y'all not following Lady Lovely, I don't know what y'all doing either. Like, get your life. Lady Lovely connected us two together, and we became friends on Instagram. So I was sharing about the conference coming up, and naturally Nikki just happened to live in Dallas. So she said, let me go ahead and go to this conference. So she actually came to the conference just after connecting with me on Instagram after a few days. That was mind blowing. That was nothing but God. When I introduced myself to her and I said, hey guys, good to see you. I'm so glad to see you. She said, I just really have this inclination. I need to pray for you. I need to pray for you. God is telling me that I need to pray for you. And it was so amazing and so miraculous. First of all, for God to have somebody that had only connected with me for less than a week to be moved and touched by him, to come to a conference, to be encouraged, surrounded by people that they don't, surrounded by people that they don't know. And then to come and connect with somebody that you barely knew, but then moving in the direction that God had given you to pray for them, because your prayer gave them the strength to do exactly what they needed to do at the conference. I am so grateful to Naturally Nikki, because she was a key part of the testimony. Like, that prayer gave me strength. It gave me courage. It's like God gave her the exact words to say when I was feeling nervous about speaking and sharing my testimony. So then the day went on, I shared my testimony. Women were moved. Women decided to share some of their testimony with me. God did great things in just that one small connection. And I am very, very grateful for him for that. So that's my testimony for this week. What did y'all triumph through last week? What did God do that was amazing for you guys this week? Let me know. I want to hear it. I love hearing the victories. I love hearing the triumphs and the ability for us to see God and his glory in each other. So let me know, what did God do for y'all this week? Moving on to a fave. I have two faves actually. So the first thing I want to talk about is an album by Elevation Collective. It is called Evidence. Basically, it's a project that has all of Elevation Worship, which is a huge contemporary Christian group, and they're also connected to the church Elevation with Stephen Furtick as the pastor. And Stephen Furtick is low-key my pastor. Like, I go to his church every Sunday via live stream. I am part of the E-Fam. That church has changed my life. His sermons, from the moment that I started listening to his sermons, I don't even know how I stumbled upon him. I don't even know how it happened. God, one day I just decided to listen to a sermon, and it was called Silent Sermons. I think that was the first sermon that I listened with Stephen Furtick, and ever since then, I just have been a fan. I love the way that he delivers the word. He dissects the words, like this word means something, this very word, and it's so good. I'm so excited that they came out with this album, because they took their most popular Christian songs from all of their albums and added gospel artists to them. It features Kiara Sheridan, Tasha Cobbs, and Travis Green. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been shouting them out a lot, because their worship music has really helped me spend time with God. Like, I was so excited. Before the album came out, I was listening to the single Do It Again with Travis Green, because when I would watch the sermons live, they sang that song all the time, and it became one of my favorite songs. I've seen you move, you've moved the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way when there was no way, and I'll believe I'll see you do it again. And it's just like, I know that I've seen too many miracles from you for me to feel like you can't change what I'm going through right now. There's such a great song. One of my favorite songs from Elevation Worship. I feel like Evidence from Elevation Worship is a really great album to look into. It is available on iTunes. It's available on Spotify. I guess on all digital media platforms, and I'm sure you can get the CD as well. And plus, I'll have links up for it in the description box below. Duh. All right, so the next thing is a YouTube channel. So y'all know I'm out here trying to get slim thick, low key. Trying to be skinny in the gut and fat in the butt. Yeah, I like that. That's the goal. So I have been really focusing on what I've been eating and what I've been putting into my body, and how I've been burning fat out of my body as well. I want to talk a little bit about my little fitness regimen and how I'm able to do what I do. One of the first things that I really focus on is smoothies. Smoothies help so much. I like my smoothies to have kale and spinach in them. I don't consume a lot of dairy, so I try and stay away from sour cream and cheese, even though those are my best friends. I try and stay away from them as much as I can, and I don't do any milk. That has helped with bloating, and the smoothies have also helped with bloating and energy and appetite regulation. So I love that I have those smoothies. And then the biggest thing, the absolute biggest thing for my regimen has been water. I need at least four of these a day. Water has helped so much when it has come to me losing weight. I work out 5 times a week, and I do a muscle building exercise on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I do a cardio exercise on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I would just find random YouTube videos. I would just look up butt workouts or ab workouts, you know. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, for a minute, I had Beachbody. I just kind of got burnt out on it. The newest thing that I just found is Fit Body by Ashley, and I'm going to put her YouTube in the description box below as well. What she does is dance fitness, and it is so fun. She has songs by Bruno Mars, T.I., Missy Elliott, The Jagged Edge, Outkast, and you're doing whole dance routines to the music. And it's not like no cheesy dance. It's like really, really fun. The first time I did it, I was sore the next day to ways I just can't even explain to y'all. So those are my faves for this week. I hope you guys enjoy those. Now we are down to the culture. So it has been confirmed that Wendy Williams has forced herself to take a break for the first time in her show. She does a yearly break during the holidays, but besides that, she never took a sick day. She's never just been off. But just recently, she came out with a statement on her show and said that she needed to take a 3-week break because her diagnosis for her Graves' disease has gotten really bad. I'm gonna show you guys this clip here really quick.
Okay, let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Come on.
So she's doing the Hot Topics and she doesn't look right. But I'm gonna check it up to her body reacting to this disease because her eyes are really bugged out. She's out of focus. She's jittery. I'm a Wendy Williams fan, so I watch and I know, I know how she feels comfortable, when she feels comfortable in front of the camera. I'm hoping and praying that she gets better. Hot Topics can wait. We can wait for you, Wendy. I just want you to get better, and I hope that you take this time to really care for yourself so that you can be around for a little bit, girl. We like your Hot Topics, at least I do. So Tamar was on The View, and this was the first time we have seen her talk about her and Vince and their split up and everything since I think her breakdown on Instagram. So I'm gonna let you guys see a little clip of that as well.
And here's the thing about people being in your business. Keep people out your business. Mm-hmm. Because they always feel like, and let me just address the meltdown that I had on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And it was my fault that I put myself in a position where I opened up the floor for people to give their opinions on my marriage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I have to take responsibility for that. And also, you have to take responsibility for telling too much of your business. Mm-hmm. Because people always feel like they can tell you this, they have a hand in this, or, oh girl, did you hear about what happened, da-da-da. But because everybody don't want to see you happy. The pregnancy rumor came from my friends.
Why would they do something like that if they were friends?
Because people are miserable, and if they see you happy, they don't want that. Can we get a hot for that?
Woo! I agree 100% with what Tamar is saying, that your marriage is your business. I was looking for advice and I was looking for comfort in people instead of looking for God. And God had to make it clear, so he had to clear friendships. And I wasn't talking to anybody. And it got to the point where I had to talk to only him so he could tell me how much he loved me, so that I could understand that what they say about my marriage, even though I shared things with them and they have their own opinions, it didn't matter because God loved me more than they did, and he had a purpose for me in my marriage. So my marriage is my business and I'm not gonna divulge it to you. I thought that was really wise of her to make that statement, because I feel like when you get married and you have friends, you try to confide in those friends, you're trying to confide in them, and you want to have a sounding board. But I feel like if it was meant for people to be in your marriage, they would have been at the altar with you. You can minister about your marriage, you can share about your marriage, you can encourage other married people without divulging all of your dirty laundry. Because first of all, in my opinion, it's distasteful. And two, now you got all ears and eyes and mouths on your relationship, and some people aren't qualified to do that. Final point of culture. We're talking about Khloe Kardashian. I don't think I've ever talked about a Kardashian on here yet. Khloe is expecting a baby boy with her fiance, Tristan Thompson, so congratulations to them. And she also shared on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians that she is going to get her placenta capsulated and take it after she gives birth to her son.
And then are you gonna like eat your placenta?
I'm gonna eat it in pills.
Yeah, so you need the placenta person to come while it's still
That's
fresh.
not just like a thing at the hospital?
No, you need to find a placenta company, and then like they knock on the door when you're like just giving birth, and they're like, the placenta pickup's here.
How do I know that they're giving me back my placenta?
You don't. But like with Saint, my placenta was double the size. It was really oddly big.
Now this is something that I've really heard about. I've heard about when it comes to after you give birth, some people just drink it, like or they eat it and mix it in with stuff. I'm assuming that when you do that, it's supposed to help with recovery and give you back nutrients and vitamins that you need to help you recover. I don't know if this is like a thing that was back in the day. I don't know why people think it's okay to eat the sack that fed your baby and when the baby comes out, but I don't know. I don't know how it works. Please let me know if you have done this. No shade if you've done it. I don't know anything about it. Just give me your feedback on that, because I'm curious about what y'all think about that. Seriously, honestly, truly. So the last thing we have is It's a Word, and we are at the end, y'all. We made it. For this week's bit, piece, snippet, nugget of encouragement, I just want to go back to my testimony and reiterate the fact that your story and your testimony is yours, and how important it is to embrace that story, because God gave you that story, God gave you that trial, God gave you that storm for a reason. You know, it's more than your personal growth. There's deeper reasons for you going through it than to just get the ugly out of you. Once that ugly is out of you, God's spirit is in you, and your purpose is attached to that spirit that's within you. So now you have humility, and now you have power, and now you have strength to share what you've been through to affect people that are called to your purpose as well. There's been times where I've battled and I'm like, man, my stuff is sound common these days. Even like my backstory of being a preacher's kid and being desensitized to the word, and then finding the Lord again, and then going through a rough marriage. It just seems like everybody's going through it, but that's the beauty of it. You know, it's everybody. There is a lot of people that have gone through it, but here's something that's unique. You are unique. You are different. The way that you deliver your testimony and the way that God has put your little intricacies into the testimony is going to encourage and empower somebody else to get through their storm and to share their story after they've healed. You know, so I just encourage you guys to embrace your story. So what if you think it's common? Because God made it common enough to where thousands can relate to it. And those that are called to you will think your story as the most encouraging and motivating piece of information that they've heard in a long time or ever. You know, so be encouraged, embrace your story, and let God use you in what He's brought you through. So yeah, we made it. We made it through the weekly walkthrough. We made it through another week. I hope you guys were encouraged. I love the weekly walkthrough. I say it every week. Besides that, check out everything in the description below. And we will see you guys on Saturday. Bye.